Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to our channel. You can see Simmer is driving. So since it's 22 degrees outside, we decided to actually go on a ride, and I believe we are going to end up on a lake somewhere. Canada is full of lakes, so it's not very difficult to find one. Since we've been living in Canada for about 10 years now, we're going to share some information on what's the positives and negatives of living in Canada are. You're going to like this information, and it's probably going to be very helpful while you're making the decision if you want to come to Canada or not. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. The first things we are going to speak about is the positives about Canada, since it's a very positive country. So Simmer, what do you think? You've been living here far enough. What's the best thing about living in Canada?
I think the most important thing is that Canada is a very polite country, and wherever you go, people are very nice to you generally, unless you bother them.
Yeah, that makes sense. You see this door behind us, even though it's closed, the one thing which will show you how polite Canada is, that if you are going towards this door and somebody opened it, they're going to keep it opened unless you actually end up at the door.
Yeah, so
And everybody expect you to do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's just basic courteous thing, and people are generally really happy. So let's talk about the general things people do to show politeness. The first one we spoke about is the doors. The other is the three very important words everybody know in Canada and they use like crazy.
Yeah, sorry, please, and thank you.
Even though it's not their fault, nobody is going to be hesitant to say sorry to you. And you might end up being in a battle with them that who is more sorry.
Yeah.
Other things they do is like when you're crossing the road and there are drivers on the road, they're going to stop for you. So they would not hit you or they would not scream at you. They will stop, wait till you cross the road. Alright, Simmer, so what do you think is the next best thing about Canada?
Okay, so the next thing is that Canada, as you know, is a diverse country. Like people from all over the world, they make Canada their home and they live very, very much in peace.
So the good thing when you come to Canada, you will see that people from all nationalities make Canada their home. So anybody who is looking for a great peaceful life, Canada can be their next home. The next best thing which comes to Canada because of diversity is food. So if you have millions of people from one country living here, they obviously, many of them, they would open restaurants and stuff. So if you love eating, Toronto is the place to be. You will see all different kinds of cuisines at your fingertips. So. You know what? You hurt my feelings. I'm gonna go get them checked.
Yeah, you can go. You know it's free. So that's bring us to the third positive point, which is that the healthcare in Canada is free at the point of use.
Yeah. So everybody pays a lot of taxes, and one of the biggest benefits that gives you is that the healthcare is free. So majority of the time, if you have to go to a doctor, you do not have to pay for it. You can get yourself checked. Even most of the surgeries are covered as well. So that is one big point. Many developing countries and many developed countries, you have to pay for your own healthcare. But in Canada, it's a social system, so everybody pays taxes, and which benefits pretty much everybody who lives in Canada, so they can get their health free. That's a huge point, because if you're not healthy, you cannot enjoy your life. Well, this is how I do social distancing. I come to the village areas of Canada, and there is nobody going to be anywhere close to you. Okay, so the next point is
Canadian government who is always trying to help its residents.
Yeah, we in Canada, we got that three major parties. We have the Conservatives, the NDP, and
Liberal, which is my most favorite party because they always try to help its people.
okay. So anywhere in the world, it's impossible to have a government which is like 100% good and there is no corruption. They do everything right. But in Canada, they kind of come very close to being a perfect government. Right now, the whole world is going through this pandemic situation, but Canadian government, they try to help everybody who lives in Canada. There are people who lost their jobs. There are students who have no idea how their studies are going to go. There are businesses, they have no idea how they're going to help the people who work for the businesses. So the Canadian government has been helping people who lost their jobs. They have been helping the students. They have been paying money to businesses so that they can stay open for a few months during this crisis. That is one of the biggest thing a government can do, besides giving education, besides giving health facilities and infrastructure. So for this point, we're going to sit inside the car and speak to you because we came to a wonderful spot. Have a look. But since this spot is so windy, we could not make a video outside because you won't be able to listen to what we are saying.
Yeah.
So what's the next point?
So the next point is summers, enjoying summer. So
Why are summers so good in Canada?
I think after a long winters, people are so desperate to go out in the sun and just have sun, enjoy the sun, and that's all I think.
You know what, that makes sense because at the winter time, if you do not know skiing or skating, or if you're afraid of cold, there's not much for you to do. All you can do is maybe go out or maybe go for a movie. But in the summertime, it's so many activities you can do outside. You can go to the lakes, you can do barbecues, you can do parties with your friends outside. So to the beaches in the summertime, you'll see a lot of people actually going to like all out. They go crazy. And specifically in the months of summers, you get at least 1 3-day weekend. So we call them long weekends, which is just specifically designed for people to go enjoy with their families. So summers are great in Canada, and I cannot explain it to you unless you are actually here and you see the summers over here yourself. They're gorgeous. There are events happening all over the place. There are parties on the beaches. There are food festivals. There are music festivals. So there is absolutely something to do every weekend. So when you come here, you'll be surprised. You'll have a lot of fun in the summertime. So we spoke about all the good things Canada has to offer. Now let's discuss some bad things according to us.
Yeah.
The first one is
Winters.
and sometimes you get 2 winters.
Yeah.
And if people living in Canada will understand.
Yeah.
As the summers are the best parts of Canada, winters are extremely long and extremely cold. And it also depends upon where you live in Canada. Somewhere like in Vancouver, you do not get that much of winters. But if you live in places like Saskatchewan, Yukon, Northwest Territories, or Nova Scotia, the winters are extremely long, and
Even in Toronto.
the temperature can get as down to minus 35. Toronto we get about like minus 10 to minus 20 most time of the winters, and sometimes it actually goes below that, but usually it's for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. The worst part about winters is the length of winters. It's so cold. The good thing is that in Canada, if it's so cold, then there are facilities to make it a little easy on you. Your car is going to be hot, the bus is going to be hot, your house is heated, your places where you work are all heated. The only time you actually feel the real depth of winter is when you have to use the transit system, and if your bus or your train is late, it becomes really cold. I have been in those situations where we used to wait for 45 minutes to 1 hour waiting for the bus, and that used to be really cold. The hands and the legs will freeze. So you gotta make sure that if you do not have a car, you have to make sure that you are covering your head, your hands, and you are wearing nice winter shoes to save yourself from the harsh long winter in Canada. So let's talk about the second bad thing about living in Canada is the transit system. You want to add something?
Yeah, I think the metropolitan city, it is still okay, and some of the cities they are rated as one of the top transit system in the North America. For example, I think TTC was
TTC was
at
rated
some point of time. it was one of the best transit. But talking about the rural area and the suburbans, I would say that in the suburbans you cannot rely on the transit system because they are not punctual. Say for example, if it says that the next bus is coming in 10 minutes, it might come in an hour or even longer.
So if you live in a places like where we are right now, there is no bus ever going to come here. Even when she said that the TTC was rated the best transit in North America, I would say that's a lie, because I've used TTC for a few years, and if you compare it to any other big city in the world, it's nowhere close. It's just that I seriously don't understand how they can vote this as the best transit system in North America.
Actually, that
maybe
was
the
said,
others
yeah.
are way too bad.
No, actually that was said by the, I think, radio station. So
I have no
that's,
idea.
That's
But
the source of my information.
yes, but honestly, like if you live in Toronto, you will be really hard pressed of time. There are very many times it's going to happen that your bus is late. You will see, I can specifically tell some routes where there are no buses coming for 45 minutes, and all of a sudden 5 of them come together.
Yeah.
So unlike if you come from a country like Japan, you're going to be very disappointed, because the TTC over here and the other transits like Peel region or Durham region, they do not have that same kind of code that you have to be on time, and the respect of people's time by the transit systems, I do not think it's there. So that's one field I think we need a lot of improvement as a country. Okay, so what is the next bad thing about living in Canada, or specifically in Toronto?
I would say housing market,
Why?
because the houses are damn expensive here.
Alright, so Canada is a huge country, everybody knows, second biggest in the world, but the majority of the population is concentrated in only a few huge cities. One of them is Toronto, then you have Vancouver, Surrey, Calgary. So if you come to Canada, the likeliness that you will end up in any of these cities is very high, and the population in Canada is growing significantly, but the housing market is not generating a lot of new properties. So since the supply is low and the demand is very very high, so that equates to very high prices of houses in those major cities. So if you there are certain houses far away from the city which you will be able to afford easily, but there are not too many jobs over there, so you would end up living in either GTA or Peel region if you are in Toronto, or you would end up in Vancouver or Surrey. An average house costs over $1 million in Vancouver, and it's very close to $1 million in Toronto. So basically, to afford a house like that, you have to make about $160,000 a year. And if you want to find out how easy that is, check what your qualifications are. Go on Indeed.ca, search a job which will be suitable for you, and that'll give you an idea that how much of money you are going to earn. And keep in mind, anything over $70,000-$80,000, if you're lucky enough to make it, the amount of taxes are huge. So if you make about $80,000, eventually you will end up with about $60,000 in your pocket. And after all your expenses and stuff,
It's very hard.
you'll be lucky if you save about $1,000 a month individually. So yeah, you gotta make sure that if you want to afford a good house in Toronto, if you live here, you have to be making over $160,000 as a couple, and then you have to have a good habit
so
of
as to
saving.
save a down payment, right?
Yes, so you have to have a good habit of saving.
Yeah. Okay, so the next point is actually related to the previous one, which is we don't have so many major cities in Canada.
Besides Toronto, Calgary, Ottawa, Vancouver, Surrey, that's about it. If you live in any of these, again, your housing cost is going to be crazy. Your jobs are going to be very competitive because of the lot of immigration we are getting right now. And if you decide that you do not have enough money to buy a house in one of the major cities, and you want to go live a little bit away from the city and save on the housing cost, then comes the next problem, which is traffic. So if you live even half an hour, 45 minutes or 1 hour away from the city, In the coming years, 401, obviously the major highways, they are not increasing the size of the highways. I do not see planning on that side, and the traffic is getting worse and worse pretty much every year. I've been only here for about 10 years, and I've seen a huge change in the traffic in those 10 years. So in the coming years, it's going to get worse. So it's a trap. You either live in a huge city with where there is not the greatest transit system, and the housing costs are out of the roof, or you live far away from the city and get stuck in the traffic every day. I have people who work in my office, and they commute about 2 hours, 2.5 hours both ways, and I would not be able to do that. So keep that in mind. It's not a cheap country, it's very expensive, and like every other countries, we have a lot of problems as well, which might or might not get solved in the meantime.
Okay, you say no next point.
What's the next point?
Okay, so the next point is your dream job. So what happens is when you come to Canada, you cannot right away think that you will get your dream job right away, especially for those people who are in a good profession back home. For example, say doctor or engineer, they have to go to the school, or they have to upgrade their license.
Which is very difficult.
Yeah, which
sometimes.
is different here.
So
And, yeah.
I'll give you an example. So say if you are a physiotherapist back home. So when you come here, you cannot start working as a physiotherapist right away. You may have to go to school, you may have to get a license, and that process of getting a license, going back to school, getting that education, it's going to be very time consuming, tedious, and it's very expensive. Same is with dentists, same is with doctors, same is with engineers. Majority of the professions which deal with people's lives here, people's security, would need you to get a license.
And that includes the technical work as well.
Yes.
Plumbing and that
Exactly.
is also.
So even
directly
if you are a
related to-
plumber, if you work in maybe sheet metal, electrician, so all of those trades need that license as well. And getting that license takes a lot of time.
But there are some jobs which might not need any license, and you can right away, maybe like 1 or 2 rank below than the same position you were back home.
Yeah.
But you
So-
can still start working right away.
Okay, Simar, what is the last and the worst part about living in Canada?
I think the worst part would be that you are away from your family and your childhood friends, I would say.
Yes. So
Right.
when you come here, obviously you cannot bring everybody along at the same time. Those people are lucky who have their families living here, because if you have your family here, you are here, you got a nice job, there's no better place to be. But majority of us, when we come to Canada, we leave everyone behind, and that's a toughest thing to do, especially when you are the only one you are here. But in my case, I have my brother, my sister, brother-in-law, they're all here, so that's make it a little bit easy. But in Simar's case,
It's been 3 years. I haven't been to India yet.
she's a tough cookie, I would say, in this case.
Yeah, because I think it is a subjective matter. You should be thinking about a lot of points, right? Before making a decision to go back home and again see your family. Of course, I speak to them every day. So
Facebook,
FaceTime has
FaceTime.
made our
Sorry,
life.
not Facebook.
Yeah, FaceTime has made our life.
FaceTime, Skype,
Yeah.
use all of these features, and
It feels like I am like seeing them every day. Okay everyone, so we hope that you enjoyed today's video. It was our personal experience. I don't know, you might not feel the same as us, but 90% people are would be feeling the same thing.
you will relate to at least one of them.
Yeah.
If you relate to more of them, then you can actually like the video, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends, because we try to give you the right information all the time.
Yes. So see you next time. Till then, bye bye.
Yes, and we wanted to make this bye-bye shot on our drone, which we had a little misadventure today, landed in a tree. I'll show you a picture. So
Yeah.
just we'll do the bye-bye just standing here.